Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of the TJC 1 cohort. I hope everyone was off to a great start with the information that you received last week. This week we will be covering information that falls under the second competency, which is competency 128.1.2, communication and context. There are actually 3 subtopic areas under this competency. The first is differences in communication, the second is group communication, and the third is managing communication. So overall, this competency really focuses on the different relational dynamics that you encounter. You will cover relationships in dyads or pairs. You will also cover relationships regarding groups in particular. So the competency is very reflective of your day-to-day interactions with others around you. So I encourage you to think of realistic examples and scenarios for the different concepts as you read through the material. If you're able to associate a concept to a personal situation in your own life, it tends to be much easier to recall the concept and then apply it to similar scenario situations when you're posed with questions from the pre-assessment and assessment. So, if you look under the course of study, you will see the breakdown of the chapters that fall under this section. There are 5. So you have intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, relationship dynamics, intercultural communication, and group communication. So again, when you click on these different aspects of the course of study, you'll be given the competency, the topics that fall under it, and then also the associated chapter and lessons. So overall, the chapters that are associated with this in your BB, and IB text are mostly under chapters 6 through 10. And so you can see it's the end of Unit 1 as well as Unit 2 and Unit 3. So in Chapter 6, you're focusing on diversity. And this is really a big chunk of what the first subtopic under this competency reflects. So in particular, you want to make sure that you pay attention to understanding diversity on page 139 and culture and communication on page 144. They will give you background information and definitions that help you understand the different individuals and cultures that are around us and how to effectively understand and adapt to them. In Unit 2, you're really focusing on the dyadic communication, which is just basically 2 individuals in an communicative interaction. So understanding interpersonal communication, or Chapter 7, gives you more information about initiating and maintaining relationships. So you'll want to make sure to pay careful attention to that, as well as self-disclosure on page 181. And stages of relationship development on page 196. In addition to that, you want to also look at the conflict situations, which can be found more under Chapter 8, Enhancing Relationships. And in particular, you can look at information that falls on page 200 and 202. So those will really help you gain a better understanding of conflict situations and how to try to effectively resolve or manage them. So in Unit 3, you are covering group and team communication. So under this unit, you really see a lot of information about what comprises groups and how groups are effectively managed and how they are effective when they are engaging in problem-solving situations. So in Chapter 9, you really get a better understanding of how groups and teams are defined and the different types of groups that individuals can be part of or partake in. You will also look at more information about what effective group members do and how they contribute to the goals of the group. In addition to that, you will be looking at more information under Chapter 10 that talks about managing communication in groups in an effective manner. So this really looks at sort of the problem-solving mechanism behind effective groups and teams. So we know that a group is comprised of a certain amount of members and they work towards a particular goal. But in Chapter 10, you're really focusing now on how do these groups effectively work together in order to solve a particular problem. In addition to that, there's information that regards leadership and the different types of effective leadership types that some teams will be led by, groups or teams. So while this may seem overwhelming, since it is quite a few chapters in the book, keep in mind that we will continue to break down this information into manageable chunks. So as you receive emails throughout this week, you will have additional information to gain and to try to keep track of. So try not to feel overwhelmed. And please know that you can always contact us via email or phone, again by clicking on the Contact Your Course Mentor tab. You will be able to see all of our information and available hours, and you can contact us as needed.